think we should be friends anymore, Chauncey.
What is up, y'all? We are back with another video. Today we will be reviewing Blumhouse's Imaginary. I just got back from the theater, and yeah, guys, we got to get into it. But before we get started, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps. And let's try to get this video to 100 likes. It'll definitely help this video. But you guys know how the reviews go, starting off with spoiler free, and then we end off with spoilers. I will let you guys know before we get to spoilers. But to get into this, this movie, of course, is done by Blumhouse once again, Imaginary. And this is one of the ones I seen when I first seen it. I'm like, okay, it's PG-13. Megan was PG-13, but Megan was decent. You know, Megan was one of Blumhouse's decent projects, and then blew up and everything. But Imaginary, it wasn't good, man. I'm gonna just be honest, it wasn't good. It's not something that I can, you know, watch again. Now I'm kind of give you the rundown. This movie takes place with a woman named Jessica that is dating this guy. I want to say his name was Max. I want to say it was his name, and he has two daughters. And he, you know, he's going through a divorce or something like that. And he has two daughters, and one of his daughters is Alice, and she is the star of this movie. She's, the way she does some of the scenes is just crazy. Some of the stuff that she did was wow. It's this one particular scene, it just gave me like just dark actresses vibes. I don't know what the hell was going on, but it was crazy. But to get into it, this basically takes place with a woman named Jessica that is going through a lot of things mentally due to previous events in her life that you will find out, you know, through this film and everything. And to get into it a little more, it's kind of hunting her through this little girl, Alice. You know, you might as well say her stepdaughter, Alice. And she's seeing a lot of herself in her, because when Jessica was young, the woman Jessica, when she was young, she had an imaginary friend, and she was very attached to it. And she starts to see the same steps, the same things that occur with her that's happening with Alice and her new imaginary, you know, best friend. And she's getting very curious and everything, and stuff just starts happening. Overall, one thing I did like with this film was the way Chauncey looked at a certain level. The level we seen in the trailer when he becomes bigger Chauncey. You know, I think that was very cool. The way they did that. That was very much creepy in my opinion. It gives you vibes of like a Five Nights at Freddy's a little bit, just because it's PG-13. Now, like I said, I knew Megan was PG-13, but Megan, in my opinion, is way better than this. This right here, it just fell flat. I seen the game plan. I seen what they were trying to do. It was a great concept. Like, if you looked at that on paper, it's like, oh my god, this is going to be crazy in the theaters. Like, it's one of those things where it looks nice on paper, and once you get into the theater and you see what you put out, it's like, oh, okay. But I saw what they were trying to do. It was definitely some scenes that were very cool, that were shot. You know, Blumhouse is good for that. But to be honest, lately Blumhouse has really been falling flat with movies. You know, we just got Night Swim, and to be honest, you know, Blumhouse needs to come up with new ideas. It's like this formula they're starting to have. It's like it started since Megan. So, you know, got Megan, Five Nights at Freddy's, and then these are our original, you know, IPs, except, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's. But, you know, Night Swim. And one thing I will say about this is my opinion. I will say Imaginary, in my opinion, might have been a little better than Night Swim. But to be honest, Blumhouse is starting to kind of like do these projects, that these PG-13 projects that are just falling flat. You know, I feel like the story didn't have enough depth. It was just a lot of stuff they were just trying out to see if it looked good on the screen. When I first seen the trailer, I already knew what I was getting myself into. That's why I'm not too upset. I knew, you know, how it was going to be just off seeing the trailer and everything surrounding the teddy bear and everything. But I will say once again, before we get into spoilers, it does have a lot of cool shots towards the end that I thought was very cool that they executed. But other than that, the story was, it just wasn't what I think they thought it would be, and it just fell flat for me overall. And to get into spoilers, so right now we're about to get into spoiler territory, guys. So 3, 2, 1. To get into it, basically, once again, this story surrounds Jessica, Alice, and her big sister and their dad, and she decides to just move into her childhood home. And the house that Jessica and the family moves in is actually on Elm Street. We see it on the envelope. I thought that was very interesting after, you know, Jason Blum saying he would like to tackle the Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, franchise. I mean, I'm just saying, but we definitely see that they live on Elm Street in the new house. And it was something with the older lady. Her name was Gloria. She's kind of talking about like the mythology of just an imaginary friend, and she damn near says the same thing they said in Exorcist Believer. You remember with I forgot, was it Ellen Bernstein who said it? But that line when she's like, everyone has the same rituals or whatever. She's like, they all come from different cultures. She literally says damn near the same thing, but she's talking about, you know, just imaginary friend instead of just like the, you know, the exorcisms and stuff like that. I thought that was very weird with this family. The stuff that happened to her when she was younger happened to her childhood home, where she basically goes through this imaginary door and she gets stuck, and her dad ends up looking into, you know, this entity of imaginary friend on the other side, and it kind of messes up his life. He's like stuck, basically risk his life for his daughter. And it's been hunting her to the point she ends up moving back into her childhood home. So I don't get that. If that's where it happened, why would you move back? But they're trying to redo the house and stuff. But now Jessica is seeing, you know, the younger version of her and Alice with this new imaginary friend she has named Chauncey the bear. And it was just crazy. They were trying to make like imaginary friend just like this huge thing, like 1,000 years ago, like some big, like, myth. Like, but come on, it's an imaginary friend. Your kids are gonna have. They were just trying to make like this big story where, you know, to be honest, it just wasn't there. And the star of the show was definitely Alice. It's a scene where she's actually, for me, one of my favorites out of this was when she was talking to the therapist, and Chauncey kind of starts speaking through Alice, or he's just speaking like in a room. That part was kind of confusing, but you could tell it was Alice's voice. It was very much like just demonic. And I think the twist with this is kind of like, I don't know, it was cool, but it was still like, okay, it's still not. It was basically the whole time we're seeing Chauncey the bear here and there. They go back and look through these photos on the phone when Allison's taking pictures with them, and this video that the therapist had. They look back and Chauncey was never there. The bear was never there. Almost like he removed himself out of photos and stuff, so it kind of made Jessica feel buku. But make a long story short, Jessica's history is hunting her through this younger girl named Alice. She's very attached to Chauncey, and he has like this list where he wants her to do bad things. And Jessica's also an artist, so she's kind of getting pulled in closer with Alice and Chauncey's, you know, friendship, because it's helping her with her art because of Alice's imagination. And, you know, she kind of dives deep in it, and it pulls her in. She starts to find little things that are going bad, and she's like, oh, that's what I went through. It's pretty much just her seeing her life over through this little girl. But my favorite part that I could say, that at least I can say, because like I said, I didn't enjoy this movie. It just fell flat for me. But was the end when they're like on the other side with the checkerboard floor. Kind of gave me vibes of like that Beetlejuice alternate world, but it was just all blue. You're seeing the doors open. They were trying, you know, they're trying to creep you out, but it just wasn't working. It's PG-13. And Chauncey was definitely scary when he went to that bigger level. And that older lady, man, what's her name? Gloria? Chauncey, you know, he definitely fucked her up. You know, she was definitely creepy. She gave me a creepy vibe. I will say the old lady gave me a creepy vibe. But it started getting cheesy and corny, bro. Like it was just really like it's just to a certain point, it just started to feel like they just started writing shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Trying to see, or if this is gonna work, and let's see if this work. I mean, it's a bear movie. Let's see if it goes this way. And then they do like this double ending shit. I guess they thought that was cool. And I hate talking bad about a movie, but come on, man. Like, this is what I do. You know, as a content creator, I gotta give you guys my honest opinion, or you will never trust my opinion. So, yeah, it was just like the ending was kind of off. I just like the way it was shot. I like the way, if that makes sense, I like the way the ending was shot and the decisions of the camera angles they decided to shoot with the creatures and Chauncey and stuff like that. But it still fell flat. And I think the idea was, you know, it sounds cool, but when you see it on screen, it's like, no, like it just doesn't have a lot of depth to it. The story is just not there. It drags, in my opinion. It's kind of a slow burn. And to be honest, you know, if I'm being fair, I would have to give this movie a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10 for me, just because, like I said, I wouldn't watch this again. This is one of the movies I'll be like, oh, I remember I seen that in theaters, but I won't remember too much about it. I can remember a lot about it, but I still can't remember a lot. You know, it was just kind of like, it kind of bored me at moments and stuff like that. I really wish I would have kept my motherfucking Cinemark credit. I wish I would have kept my Cinemark credit with Ghostbusters coming up and everything. And yeah, that's my review pretty much on Imaginary. Overall, shout out to the young actor. I want to say her name is like Piper, who played Alice, but she killed it. She's the star of the show. Alice did, you know, a good job, and I definitely think that scene with the therapist or whatever, she killed that. She killed it. That's probably the highlight of the whole film for me. But yeah, guys, comment down below if you saw Imaginary. What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Maybe you like it. There's nothing wrong if you like it, but I just didn't enjoy it. But let me know down in the comments. And yeah, y'all, unfortunately, it's the end of the video. I want you all to hit me with my social medias at ILIKESCARY on Instagram, ILIKESCARY_ on TikTok, Brandon on Facebook, ILIKESCARY on Twitter. And yeah, you all, I will see you all in the next one. I want you all to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. I love you all. Peace. Till next time.